Limbus Company. Oh, good shit. There we go. We still have 4 days. Limbus Company. Why doesn't it always say Limbus Company? It would be awesome. Oh yeah, I need to change the title. What is it? Why are so many? Is my Limbus Company broken or something? I'm going into dialogue and then like a lot of ZZZ PNGs are just missing. Limbus Company, everyone! A 10-point as an apology. But yeah. Let's get this over with. Record division. Give me my Sinclair! Lord has finally permitted the rooster. Yeah. Why Sinclair? Well, Lord has finally permitted the rooster to crow. Time to exterminate the vermin infesting Hongyuan has come. Let's go! Next up, bosses! Can't wait. Can't wait. From there to the battlefield. From the perch to the battlefield. From the Hongyuan to the battlefield. I gotta change all of them. Get the almost. Gotta change some of the order. Look at that chicky! There's nothing unfair about the way you're going out. It's not bad luck, or the Lord's disfavor. The rest I cannot read. I'm not gonna read the story since I'm just at the beginning of everything. Sorry, but we're gonna get this now every time. Yo, Runasi. Yeah, I got so much.
야밤의 달빛과 함께
Tickler, yeah. Tickler is awesome. I don't know what this. This is just generally funny. My ever-growing collection. Technically speaking. Yeah! It was. I'm missing the front-facing user. This is funny. I'm keeping this. But yeah, I'm close to. Almost. But yeah, Nocturnal Sweeping. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm probably not gonna do all of it right now. What is ich will, ne? Ja, that's right. Chicken. I'm just a mad dash, oh god. As expected. Happy New Year! Dante, any idea where that leftover cake from yesterday went? No idea, I mean, why would I know? I couldn't even eat. You months earlier. Didn't Don Huey already get her paws on him? Roger rubbed her tired eyes, muttering something about how we should have partied in her room instead, and stumped to the back door. The New Year's came swiftly in the inhabitants of the bus after the various incidents at the LCE. The sinners all came from different backgrounds and parts of the city. But annual celebration for New Year's seemed to be a thread that connected their cultures together. They began floating the idea of a New Year's party and... Excellent! Then permit me to honor of hosting this banquet! With her usual overdramatic boast, coupled with the familiar twinkle in her eyes, Don Quixote declared that there would indeed be a New Year's party. And thus it was decided. Again, after all the hell we went through with the back door and whatnot for the out-of-season Christmas celebration. Yet I must insist, for 'twas but an effort to decorate the bars, the intent quite divorced from the act of celebration. Don Quixote glanced at Sinclair, sheepishly scratching the back of her head. Oh, and don't worry about me, really. Well, it's true that mine actions have brought thee quite the distress, unintentionally, I might add. Thus I ask thee, wouldst thou not agree that a communal event to mark the occasion might freshen up both our spirit and bodies? I can't even begin to imagine her amnesiac. I butchered it completely away. From her amnesiac self, even taking a moment to give a damn about how Sinclair might take it, but I guess with memory came intact. You know, it's our first New Year's together. It sure is an occasion for celebration, huh? Gotta hear that bell go ding. They really mark the transition to a new year, right? It seems that we shall be it seems that we shall be welcoming the first light of the new year in company with one another. This is indeed a cause for celebration. A bowl of noodles before the last night of the year fades. Classic. So of such a bumbling enthusiasm from the warmth of my own heart. Pursue the grandiosity of this banquet shall be one for the books. Fireworks most brilliant. Enough delicacies too. Come on, when's our next stop? I fear we'll be running non-stop for 3 days at least. Only dum-dums stop on a fast road. So she says. Julius muttered with his usual sardonic air, one fist under his chin. Fee! For next year's celebration, the banquet shall be prepared ere the promised hour. When Kyoto's idea of a grand banquet depressingly fizzled into nothingness, but Rotia brought out the cakes and cookies she stashed in her room, so we could at least hold a small celebration for the New Year's together. And after that, we all stayed up together, watching the New Year's first sunrise, briefly paint the city in gold, then retired to sleep. When everyone woke up, rubbing their tired eyes, the world outside the bus had completely transformed. There was a behemoth of a structure, bizarre in its presence, and its walls seemingly made of gargantuan steel plates. E.G.O. The sinners began to voice their surprise, appropriately, so as what came into view was different from any of the nests we had passed by on our journey thus far. Is that massive structure all one building? That whole thing's the nest? And where the hell's the back street? That's big enough to cover E.G.O.'s territory and then some. Well, there he goes again, asking dumb questions without ever taking a peep at the guidebook. That's not the nest. That huge box you see over there, that's District 8. We call it Hongyan, the West Garden, near the E.G.O. Nest lies within the center of the structure, and the back streets without. So they squeeze the entire population of the district in here. So they just get a ray of sunlight all year round. Well, at least they don't work. They won't have to worry about the rain. Privy, await me a sight as well. As the sinners began to gather one by one at the other side of the bus, stood awake from their late night's rest, I felt a gaze drawn towards Honglu. I wonder why. I took the sights of concern or distress on his face, worried. It wasn't exactly something unique to Honglu, but the stories about his past home life we've heard throughout the year, whenever he felt like sharing them, were all consistently and terribly depressing. It's not such a bad place once you actually try living here for a while. But his lips ever so slightly curled upward into a kindly and relaxed smile, making the same expression as ever. An expression that hasn't changed at all since our first meeting. Maybe it's just a cultural difference. Kinda like how Honglu can be so nonchalant about things that should give most people pause, but actually no. I'm not having anyone or anything by entertaining these thoughts. My job at this moment is to keep a close eye on Honglu, more so than usual. And if the time comes for me to help him, as a manager, I give it my all. Besides, whoa, this thing is even bigger up close. Verily, I carry no recollection of a structure so grand, even in past adventures of mine. In my efforts If my efforts aren't enough, how can I trust the sinners to lend me a hand? Hey, let's see me too. I collected my thoughts and approached the sinner, whoever flattened up against the glass window to get a good view. This all in Mephistopheles on one side. The balance not existent. Well, that's fast. The duel. There's a double. Why not? Why not? Might be underleveled, but still. Once we left the bus. Oh man, can't believe we had to get off the bus here. We have to make a formal complaint against E.G.O for this crap. What the hell were they thinking? Doing shoddy construction work at the entrance of the highway that leads straight into the nest. Many causes there may be to such construction projects. It perhaps an early warning sign. Our approach on the side would have been a sensible ending. Were it not for young Carol's most valiant drifting, I shudder to even imagine the terrible possibilities. It would have been most awful end of an adventure. It's no surprise that the sinners all had a piece of their mind to speak. As we drove up to the entryway, we unexpectedly came across a mess of badly put together steel blades blocking our path in the middle of the road. Karen quickly spun the bus around, which meant that everyone ended up being thrown around like ragdolls. I believe seeing the incident of Mephistopheles, everyone flings around the bus. Virgilius and Faust just nonchalant, ignoring the fact that it's spinning around. I think there was another road off the highway that leads into the city, right? I bet Colin would try to reverse the gear all the way back to the last interchange. Out of curiosity, I looked up no commentary playthrough on Nocturnal Sweeping, and it is 4 videos that are total around 4 hours. The typical. But looks like we'll be going through all these winding alleyways to get to the nest. It's so dark in here. We were greeted by a dark street, disembarking from the bus, illuminating only by faint strands of light. It was immediately obvious that we found ourselves in the back streets of E.G.O. Looked pretty impressive from the outside, but it's no different from the other back streets inside, huh? Yep, it's a familiar sight, gotta say. It's getting real old. I ask thee, is the nest of district shrouded in such darkness as well? No, these particular sites are limited to the back streets of District 8. Back streets of this district, very different from the other ones we visited in the past. People hurrying through the streets as though they were being chased by something. People scrambling and glaring at the ground with some sickness and discomfort. Scenes all too common in every corner of the city. Was one thing about this place that stood out from the other districts, however. They're kinda reminding me of the former E.G.O soldiers back here at District 4. What? What do you mean? You mean those fellas? The growths on the flesh appeared too organic to be prosthetics. Some of them had odd protrusions or nodules bulging from their skin as well. Not at all, Manager Bud. We'll see how it goes. Look, they have now mutated. in the same pattern, like into an insectoid form, for example. But I guess I should commend you for not looking at them through a biased lens. You're observing the aftermath of District 8's distinctive method of treatment. Ah. So this is where the rumor about that bluish healing ointment came from, huh? Apparently they can cure any flesh wound after just one night dressed in bandages. It seems that certain misconceptions must be addressed. There are the variations of E.G.O singularity, the bolus. The bolus? She's likely referring to the medicines brewed and netted into ball-shaped builds. E.G.O meanwhile with an insert here. Correct. E.G.O or the Hungarian bioengineering group mainly manufacture the boluses that contain essences of treatment. The boluses may be taken orally, ground with water into a paste and applied directly to the affected area, or dissolved in water, soaked into bandages, and wrapped around the necessary area of treatment. I guess the rune is transformed as they travel. Oh, I see. I was just thinking about how they do things back at the E.G.O. The focus of E.G.O's technology is the reversal or recovery of one's conditions. Returning to the original state is a key word of their treatment. Oh no, tidy text. It is no rare sight to find unique techniques and technology developed independently by the inhabitants of the backstreet of District 8, using to manufacture the boluses. The treatments are not individually customized for each patient. Instead, they focuses on selecting the appropriate technique from a myriad of choices to address the deficiencies of the statuses. Perhaps one could choose the words transformation or evolution as a more illustrative descriptor for the method of treatment. So, that's what counts as treated? The crowd, Sinclair was pointing at, certainly appeared unhurt, as none of them were bleeding or walking with a limp, but many of them appeared dazed, staring blankly at nothing, or scratching absentmindedly at the mutated part. There must be the regulars. Unexpectedly, we found our answer not from Faust, not from Mossad, but from Honglu. How unexpectedly? It's his turf! He should know. Irregulars? Yes. I've heard of them as a child. People who are grown too accustomed to visiting the clinics in search of their mystical treatments. Irregulars might appear more intimidating than most people at first glance, but apparently on the side effects, they've been stacking changes them in strange ways. It is highly likely that interoperation conflicts or issues will arise when applying highly disparate treatment methods to a single body. This is a cheap alternative for people who didn't sign up for the life insurance. You speak of life insurance? Yes, life insurance. There's a special insurance option to bring the client back to life upon the event of the death. So, the irony isn't lost on me, but I thought resurrecting people was one of their head's taboos. Head does not consider the revival via life insurance to be a violation of the non-resurrection taboo. Is it likely that, on a technological level, this revival is actually categorized as brain resuscitation as opposed to a full resurrection? Degradation of its functions considered of course. Another fatal downside of this technology is that, unlike the manager's cloth winding, the subject cannot be brought back if the brain was destroyed. Also, there's a risk of significant losses to the process of information transference. Losses, huh? So maybe some of the mutations could be more than just the side effects of these treatments. Maybe. But I heard it takes more than 1 or 2 revivals to change that much. And since apparently people in the backstreets could never even dream of paying consistent insurance renewal rates, so after all, who would sign up for insurance if using its service could reduce them to such pitiful states? Yeah, they appear pathetic and pitiful to you rich bastards, don't they? You'll soon be in the same boat as them, so save some pity for yourself. Identify yourself! The stranger's voice cut through our discussion like a fun instrument. We turned around to find a large group of people who were clearly up to no good. You must be the young master of a high and mighty E.G.O family, huh? I can tell just by looking at your pretty face. Your friend Songlu? Oh, no. I haven't had a chance to get acquainted with people from the backstreets, so no. I've never met them before. Of course you haven't. Too busy living large playing gods in a whole different world from us plebs, huh? Not that it matters. You're just here to take the things you brought here for submission to the family hierarchy evaluation. The what the evaluation? Okay, there's clearly been a misunderstanding. There's quite a lot of them. We're not off to a great start here, huh? Man. Actually, no. It'd be a violation of our office's core values to jump them like we have some common thoughts. I, Shanson, thought some of the Triax office challenged Gia Bayoyu of the Gia family to a duel. Our rating will be that the winner can take anything they want from the loser. Wait, what do you mean a duel? Duel? I have heard that duels of honorable fixers of the Jing Association in Eastern French announced their intent to duel by staining their affiliation and name instead of casting their gauntlets at the pamphlet that young Israel had presented before me earlier presented the truth that the 3X office is indeed an office of the East. Though they are indeed of a lesser quality, thus a truly genuine, accurate declaration of a duel that we behold. So it's just a fancy way of saying, when you want me, let's go in it? I mean, this guy doesn't look too tough. What do you think, Foss? Agreed. This individual does not seem to possess any particular exceptional skill that may pose difficulties for Honglu. I think it's going to be okay. I'll be back in a minute, Dante. You sure this is okay? I don't think you're going to lose against them, but, you know, just in case. No worries. I have some childhood experience with duels myself. I've done about 10 of them, I think. Ha! So the rich boys dabbled in some duels, has he? It's... I think you misunderstand. I meant to say that I've done about 10 of them a day. But grandmother sometimes let me skip them, so it might have been slightly fewer than that on some days. What? I Honglu of Limbus Company? No. I, you of the Gia family, accept this duel. Honglu stepped forward confidently as the opponent was processing what he just heard. For a moment, Honglu stood there in a stance that did not express even a hint of aggression, before curiously cocking his head to the side. Sorry. Are we waiting for something? Oh, so I always let the opponent get the first 2 moves in duels. Please don't hesitate. Me? You little... Your pride shall be your downfall. The man who introduced himself as Shan's son leaped toward Honglu, then, after about a minute... How is this happening? The pause. he's doing the meme. The red. Look at this. We got the red. The red gaze as a mouse. He's just a gamer, yeah. Look, kicked ass, yeah. I love this. He's doing this. Unlike Shansan, who was throwing punches and swings with burning hot passion, Honglu was effortlessly gliding between his opponent's strikes like he was out on a picnic. As though this was but a leisurely stroll through a garden. Whenever Shansan threw a powerful punch, Honglu redirected it to the side with ease. The fist only grazed his clothes. We were mesmerized by the feathery light movements of his hands and feet that effortlessly glided through the air, until after one blink and you miss a moment, we realized that Shansan was already face down on the ground, defeated. Huh? Young Honglu, hast thou been concealing thy full strength in our presence? Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I always put my all into every fight. Yet, to defeat this foe so soundly, to dance with such grace between his tracks is twas as though thou wert dueling someone whose skill may only measure against a child's. But most of our fights happen in an environment with a lot of variables, and we usually fight against enemies with all kinds of unexpected weapons and powers. You read them. Already familiar with that fool's moves? Ah, yes. One of my B.W. instructors used similar techniques as this gentleman here. Practice makes perfect, and perfection makes an expert, right? Right. I'm not sure if that's entirely relevant here. Well, anyways, looks to me that we suddenly kicked your behind in this duel. That is true, why don't you? And preferably not do the thing I think you're about to do. This duel wasn't overseen by a notary office anyway. And our employer's not gonna let this failure slide if we just leave. Heh, don't just sit there, move your asses and jump him! Pathetic. I can kinda see how we're becoming experts at getting jumped. With the bitter cry of the defeated, his gang rushed toward us. And we already did not get to see chicken anymore. Oh, the music! What is the reaction? Like, not gonna lie, what is the reaction? I'm just seeing the fixer setting into Asian packs and then even the Lord. Like, damn. Ooh, a draw. Okay. The reaction of the guy had. It would be funny to have like the enemy have extra dialogue when you actually use like identities specific of the. Maybe the defense worked out. Anyways, the tiger says, "What the fuck?" Oh, someone's trying to win? Based on the clash count. Draw, win. Oh, I love my Haitians so much. This really isn't a great start, fellas. It's never easy, is it? Hey, at least we got a nice warm-up. It was not bad. I don't know. This seems more serious than our usual street brawls. It was right. They weren't like your everyday thugs who pick fights with random people with no good reason. They were contracted by someone to specifically target and eliminate Honglu. And given how open they were about the intent, calling it a contract, it doesn't seem like whoever gave the contract was exactly going for subtlety. Then maybe maybe this is what E.G.O was talking about way back when she mentioned surviving as hers. Whoever's behind this must have a bone to pick with you, Honglu. Indeed. It seems that we must expect more skirmishes like this going forward. Alas, was this trial not readily overcome? Not the point. Think on it a little more. Looks like they are assuming that Honglu's brought something here in order to participate in that family arc evaluation. And there's no reason to assume that we have seen the last of them. They're going to try again and take out the competition. A highly accurate assessment of the situation by the executive manager. I expect to know less from someone of your genius. Going for the classic of brown nosing today, Otis. Since when was it brown nosing? Compliment a job well done. Do you not expect? This inane conversation is most riveting, but I would prefer some silence while we wait. It seems that the company foresaw such difficulties. They have sent the US support team to help handle this issue. We heard voices coming from behind us, from where Virgilius pointed. My, you guys still haven't learned how much to stick to the plan, have you? It really threw me off when I was told to meet you in the back streets location, away from our agreed rendezvous point. Rendezvous point. A familiar voice, a voice we could not forget. Soda! You know what, everyone? Hi! I'm here too! We turned around to follow where the voice was coming from and recognized the two people we've been hoping to see again. She's back! I miss her. Let's go! Back to back! The lesbian one also had it. Oh, look at them, it's so still now. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, points. I wanna. Not many boxes I need, so I'm gonna go in slowly. Why is it always? Why always? Always. Spitter, you know exactly why always. It's always the one. And I get 2, as always. Yeah, I'm getting uncomfortable. Oh, they're quiet! Let's go! His Majesty Hong Yuan, convert this with your wish for Hong Yuan at its culmination, young miss. Intend to realize your dream that has faded to bloom, though his path be riddled with bloodshed. Thus, young miss, please, never forgive this wretched god of yours. My lord, your steed is here! Yes! Yes! Ta-da! Instant uptime! Right, beating of hooves, rise grains of sand, rain cries of what? And rest I cannot read. Obsidian Storm Rider, Crystal, Decapitate! Man, I love those names. They are pretty much like anime. Are you at pace? I don't know, am I? Probably not. Because it's been 44 minutes and I've gone that far. Let's go! The steed is ready, and I pressed wrong and now it lags. Because too many identities. The steed marches forth. Let's go! Oh no! God damn it! I only need to grind 10 years for to max that level. Yay! I've seen this before. Maybe like an upcoming identity or something. I don't know. It's only fair thing. I actually use the association and the team as a placeholder. I kind of have to use if association because I have asymmetrical. This is too good. There's so many I need to level up. Oh. And yeah, this one. This is insane. This setup is just insane. Down. This should be everything. Yeah. I should have the regular already. You know what? This one. Which one should I generally use? This one for poise and this never happened. Healing. Okay, healing. Oops. My Hexer is just generally better. But to be fair, I have Pestilence. Also heals too. 15%. The more here, the better. Ah, look at this. Yeah. I'm collecting the rainbow. I have Rod and Hexer and Asia, both here. But you got to that battle pass, not me. Yeah. It's just owned and owned. Okay. And yeah. Ooh. Okay, that's actually a tough one, actually. Next up, stream will be reading idea of ideas you want to use better because low level. But no, it's more of the passive and support what I need, and it's a bit difficult to get in a bone. He's out there. Just look. How much red do you see here? Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. At least it's owned, so it's not that bad. I only need to use his skill 3 times. I hope the next the next 3 Heisha picks that come that have more like second and first skill being terrible. Alright, let's continue. Our guide. Soda? And hey, pilot, right? You're... What's wrong? It's like you're looking at a ghost. Pilot, didn't you tell me that you shared my news with them the last time? I did. I sure did, ma'am. Oh, yeah, he did. The sinners each recovered from the initial shock of seeing them again. And soon their faces began to bloom with relief smiles. Well, good to see that things haven't changed much around here. So, we're so glad to see you, okay? Big talk to you, too. Good to see your guests are turning just fine. Soda smiled with a familiar grin. She did not seem to change much since the last time we met, save for a few minor differences. Her outfit and her badge, for example. As I recall, you were promoted, yes? Allow me to congratulate you. Yeah. Oh, the hints of melancholy hanging from her smile and flickering in her eyes. Hey! I am merely congratulating her on her promotion and offering her a recognition of her excellent accomplishments. I don't see what your problem is here. We all know the meaning of promotion carries indeed, and it's a very profound after all. The meaning is that they're to have promotion attained without spilling some blood. You're a real piece of work. Let me ask you something then. If everyone behaves like you do around her, tiptoeing around the facts, keeping it hush-hush about what happened, was she going to get the bare minimum of recognition, the consolation she deserves? Hush hush. Would have been nice. I've even overheard some of them whisper that I let my partner die just so I can snag a promotion. So in that regard, I appreciate that, artist. If we are being technical, I did die. Except my brain was intact. Not even K-Corp's regeneration ampule could have revived me if it wasn't. Then did Effie also? Apparently there went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him with a prosthetic. According to the coroner's autopsy. Moment of silence, everyone. Infected, not baited. Hiccup, imputes, life insurance. Neither of them can revive someone with a damaged brain. It is what it is. Anyways, let's not dwell on the depressing stuff. We're here to work. Let's get to work. Let's get some work done. So let's talk about work, okay, pilot? Yes, ma'am. Well, let's see here. Coincidentally, I happen to make friends with a fellow who has ties to the G.O family, so I brought them over. Is that everything? Yes, sir. Briefing over. Just as everyone was reeling in stunned silence at the least informative, least helpful briefing we ever had the displeasure of sitting through. E.G.O was the first to catch herself. She looked up at Sada. Sada, can we rely on you for some elaboration here? The briefing was a good demonstration of the necessity of educating the 5 W's in 1 H principle. Looks like we'll have a lot to discuss, so once we get back, pilot. Did I do something wrong? Just pilot, buddy. Just stop. You think you say dig a hole with every word? Rico quickly leaned into one pilot, but it was likely too late. A nigh unnoticeable crease had already formed between Sada's brows. Prior to commencing this high-priority operation, it was necessary for us to find individuals with connections to E.G.O. So, we as the preliminary observation unit were put to the task, and we managed to establish a connection with an individual. Imagine an announcer, Sauda and pilot. Like Sauda gets all the announcer combo. And we managed to establish a connection with an individual. Oh, someone from my family? No, we tried, but your family proved to be a rather difficult nut to crack. However, as we were wasting our precious time with all of our leads, Pilot pursued an unconventional method to establish this connection. I really didn't hold back on compliments then. And this is how you... Our collaborator is former employee of the G.O family. After leaving the family, he now runs a lodging business. Then it is likely that he is far removed from the family politics. Less motivation for him to attack us due to conflicting interests. Yes, and according to Pilot's report, he still regards the G.O family positively. How can I not, considering the blessings they have given me? An unfamiliar voice butted into the conversation as though to continue Sada's explanations. I humbly present myself before the fellowship of young Master Baoyu. Please call me Xingtao. He greeted us in a most polite fashion before bringing his hands together in an odd motion. Is this how people greet each other here? Yep, it's called the Bao gesture. Bring a fist and palm together to express respect and peace toward the receiver. Aha! Knights greet one another by shaking their hands for a self-same purpose. Forsooth thou art indeed one possessed of a chivalrous spirit. Ah, indeed. Much did I worry about the qualities of people young master has surrounded himself with. But I see that he's in company of those wise in the ways of the West. I present myself with otherwise the breath of your knowledge. What grand generosity it is to open ajar the waterways of wisdom to quench my barren lands. Something feels familiar about this. Nah, she's been getting less and less verbose with woodlinging these days. Not like this guy for sure. That's true. He's kind of like, how should I put this? A bit much. What are you guys talking about? Communicating only by the sound of a ticking clock. This is something I had already known ahead of time, yet what a most curious exchange to behold in person. Brief this journey may be, yet I shall find myself thoroughly entertained in its entirety. Maybe this is a sort of sprinkle of disrespect that reminds you of the usual flavor. Wait. Is this about me? You dare? Was that bootlegging she did supposed to be a source of pride for her or something? Oda shook her head with clear distaste and strode toward me. Well, nothing like executive manager. Never have I once said such empty flattering in your presence. Filled with nothing but hot air and superlatives. I leave the guidance to you back, to these bags to you. Well, looks like this is where saw the first sign and her eyes lingering on Virgilis, who stood somewhat apart from the rest of us. So I finally get to meet the red gaze in the flesh. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. If you would have loved to be here. Manager? Would you just seem to sense her lingering gaze, and walk toward us after nodding slightly in her direction. Manager Soda, let's not make this any longer than it has to be. I'm not happy to be helping you with your businesses, and I'd much rather put this behind me as soon as possible. Oh please, it's our historic first collaborative operation, isn't it? Can you spare a little more time with us? You guys buds? Actually doing something? That guy? Yes, unfortunately, SEC has our own business to take care of today, so I won't be accompanying the SCB this time, and the Red Gaze will be helping us out to get it done. Becky Murphy there, vroom vroom. Maybe it's not that unfortunate. Now that I think about it, I feel like every mission with the SCP always been an uphill battle to get anything done. Well, you see, back then we were just messing with you. I'm sure we'll have another chance to work together again. Plus, we don't have much time. Wait, before you go, I think you owe us some explanation, Virgilius. And we'll leave the details to Miss Faust. I am quite busy. Very well. Virgilius turned around and left toward Mephistopheles with an oddly disgruntled expression. Well then, I see you around. Next time I'll show you that I can carry my own weight. You know. Oh boy, the last time we met, I really was a darn pathetic. That competence is shown through action, not words. Southern Pilot gave us a slight nod before following Virgilius. Some sinners opened their mouths to speak, hesitated, then closed them again. Let them go without a word. Perhaps we didn't know what we could say to that. Make this an awkward farewell. Very well, please, this way. Maybe we were simply mindful of this guy who was responsible for the quality of our stay. What a nice guy! Anyways, ambush! Yeah! I got the max percentage! Yeah. I wish I could use them. I don't know what. We had it. Let's get them all in. The resentment ought to be washed away. But when the far one comes, betwixt the burnt doors, shall a star fall astray. Are you sure we are going the right way? I don't like the sounds of these weird songs. The main streets are most likely teeming with those seeking to bring harm to the young master. We must venture an alternative path. And like you said, there weren't any skirmishes, so once we made it deep into the dark alleyways. The lack of foot traffic would normally be pretty unsettling, but I guess that's what we needed at this moment. As for the song, it's a song that's become rather popular in the back streets in the recent months. The lyrics are pretty ominous for a popular song. It is a song that spreads through word of mouth. It sings of how the decimated Kong family. This is not the place to discuss such matters. I will share the tale in a more appropriate setting later, should we come across it. Didn't know there was a song like that. Is this the first time you've heard of it too, Homeroom? It's a posh gift from a posh family. But he's ever set his precious feet in the back streets, so it's no wonder he's never heard anything like it. I've been in the back streets before, but Heathcliff isn't wrong. I did spend most of my time in my room. That is precisely because you are the most treasured one of them all, young mister. Much like how the jade of the greatest war is to be cherished, prized, and hidden in the deepest depths of one's coffers, where none shall reach. I can, to a lesser degree, particularly as of late. So that guy used to work in the E.G.O family, huh? Do you know him, Honglu? Master, is there something on my face? Honglu stopped himself as though a thought flashed in his head and glanced quietly in my direction. Then, hey, something. Shall we continue walking down this road? Indeed. Humble as I may be, I'm very well versed in the roads of this area. Honglu shook his head at me as he casually changed the subject. It was as though he was trying to hide something we know from Shinto. Should we be suspicious of something? He's a collaborator, but only a temporary one. A degree of caution would be advisable. Given pilot's clear inexperience and naivete, we would do well to remain suspicious of this character. Fast and Otis approached me as Honglu was nodding along and chatting amicable with our guide. Well, looking back to our journey so far, I think we learned our lesson about blindly trusting every collaborator we come across. With this growing mistrust in mind, I suddenly made my decision from the guide before asking Faust a burning question. So what was that about back there with Virgilius? Something about him going out ahead without the consequences of his actions at Wuthering Heights? is actually a violation of one of the more important items in his contract with the company. He's simply taking responsibility for the breach of contract. I think back to the incident at the manor. It feels like such a long time ago now. Well, that's kind of a bummer. He really helped us out of a pickle. What? That's what they're dragging him away for. Is there a problem, honored guests? It's nothing at all. No problema, right, Ryosha? Yes, you idiot. I said, can you carry he for a little bit? He's that tired. It will be done. Heathcliff punched in the gut by the hilt of Ryosha's sword, fell over the right into Marshall's welcoming shoulder. But yeah, you're not the kind of person I hate the most. The kind of dull people who can't read the room. Don't you feel the same way, Dante? Yeah? I nodded enthusiastically as something seemed to imply that she wasn't really asking me a question. I don't think she was about to punch my lights out, but the enemy understood just correctly this time. Classified company information must not be discussed in the presence of an outsider. Reminds me of the time he got knocked out cold for a while because he kept asking questions about raising his hand. This guy just doesn't learn, huh? He successfully preserved this secrecy of classified information without spilling blood. I applaud this policy. Yeah, I did good, didn't I? I'm just not a fan of how they are treating Heathcliff like that now. If it is no problema, as you say, then that is well indeed. Yet I worry that it appears that the problem has found us anyway. I stopped and looked around, realizing that we were surrounded by a group of people wielding various weapons in their hands. Well, happen to finding us a safer path? It is likely that my guidance has indeed given us a much safer path away from the more obvious skirmishes. However, to my great regret, it appears that the more observant of our enemies have tracked us here. Damn it. And what were you even here for? Isn't it your job to prevent this exact scenario? Let's leave the finger pointing for later. We're gonna have to take them all down. I must not be allowed to disseminate our current location. Exactly. Well, where are you slinking off to, Mr. Shintow? I must incredibly and humbly say that my attendance in war are terribly lacking, so I intend to become scarce for a moment. Yet, I have the utmost faith in the strength of our young master and the honored guest in overcoming this adversity. So, Jingtao was already standing so far away from the front lines that he was practically behind me. Boss, anything you can tell us about these enemies? But our consultation with the Gazette seems unnecessary if we are to determine whether negotiating with them is an option. They're coming. Mozart, wake Heathcliff up and set him down. It will be done. The sound effect was awesome. Ooh, let's see.
저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면 그 용도를 고민하는 것이 상책이지.
That kinda reminds me of Sada. Counter! Yippee! My favorite! God damn it, I forgot. God damn it, I forgot.
결과에 승복하는 것도 결투자의 예법. 이겠죠. 발광할 시간인가?
There we go.
저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면 그 용도를 고민하는 것이 상책이.
Oh, still an awesome setup. Let's go. This one, then counter build, then offset, then counter, counter. Yes, favorable. And there's a counter. That did practically nothing. And now we can pretty much use the win rate for everything else. I think it's interesting they don't want to use... Winred really doesn't want to use the third skill, but much rather the first one. But this one, where poise is actually needed, they're not gonna use this one instead of other one to build up the poise, which is interesting. Third skill, third skill, third skill, third skill. So many third skills. The full Mao branch in this kill fest. 6 HP, awesome. Come on, the one with 6 SP. 11. I guess. Yeah. One more free turn. We might do some. Since this. Actually. Ooh, with 11-5 boys. But yeah, some of the team up attacks has the same effect as King with the coffin. Hostiles in the immediate vicinity have been eliminated. Our collaborator, who'd been hiding far from the battle, quickly ran up to our side as soon as the fight ended. Are you unhurt, young master? Yep, I'm totally fine. Of course, our honored guest's martial skills were all exceptionally brilliant, but young master, your light was the brightest even among the incandescent. The humble servant could not hold back his tears at this wondrous sight. You witnessed such excellent martial arts from none other than the young master himself. What an unexpected surprise! Don't the children of the E.G.O family undergo all kinds of strict training regimens from childhood? It was simply my assumption that the young master had ceased his training, so once he departed the family. Anyways, how do you think that they tracked us down anyway? About that, it appears that we weren't exactly tracked down. Perhaps it may be that the E.G.O who lived in these parts of the backstreets recognized the young master's venerable countenance. I don't think my face is that well known. Family hierarchy evaluations are nigh. Every soul living in Hong Yuan must know the face of the young master who is loved by every elder of the family. It must be that they are under the assumption that you are carrying something of great value. Family hierarchy. Didn't Ji say something about heirs back then? They all assumed wrong then. I didn't bring anything precious that the elders might be looking for. Young master, even now? I just couldn't care less about it, that's all. Besides, many of my siblings are much better fit to the family hierarchy than I am. Well, that is indeed a relief. A relief it is. A relief, is it? But of course, it is highly dangerous endeavor to partake in the hierarchy evaluations. So it is a great relief to know that the young master is not putting himself in unnecessary danger. I guess that could be a relief, sort of. Yeah, now that we took them all down, there shouldn't be any more of them the way, right? Right. Can we not jinx ourselves for 1 second? Why are you laughing, Ryosho? No, I'm worried. Please, do not concern yourselves any further. We will take the more clandestine path. I guarantee a safe and easy passage to our destination. I still have a hard time buying that. The layout of this place would constitute a perfect place to set up an ambush in most places. Yet you claim this to be the safer path. Yet I might ask you to place your faith in this humble servant, for Hongyuan is not like most places. Fine, for now. I'll just shut her eyes for a moment out of retort. Then turn to look at Ishmael. Hey Ishmael, you must have a pamphlet of this place handy, don't you? No way, you're actually going to read it? Why else would I ask? Oh no, I mean, I could not be caught off guard after almost a whole year of getting brushed off by everyone. And every time I plead with them to read the damn pamphlets. Okay, but don't think to. I will find my own intel if you're just going to ramble on and on with your grievances. Okay, fine, here it is. I just opened the pamphlet and began intently glaring at the text, at its texts. Esther, she didn't want to miss even the smallest detail of information in there. Suspicion clear on her netted brows. Support. 1/3 done. Hassan. I got an idea, most genius.
의로움을 세우기 위해서라면 잠깐 명을 받듭니다.
백수 죽음.
보는 잠깐 이번 임무는 내가 이 명을
어디서?
나
사후 처리 화점에 두지.
Hehe. I don't know. One of them. Only one of them. 6. If our host gets low, then we can switch him out. fine. It's fine. We can switch him out later. Mid-battle.
만곡된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠어.
We were on a desperate run. All the while fighting off hordes upon hordes of enemies. Yeah. Alright, what happened to safe and easy passage? Explain this shite. It appears that the young master's radiant countenance was made known. Totally. I mean, it's nothing new that the guy no one basically knows about is actually the one that is feeding the enemy all the information about. So I'm not surprised if he is getting out the location on where the sinners are going. I thought we were finding a more clandestine passage. How come we are getting jumped by even more enemies? As I've said, the young master's radiant. At least try and give a little variation to your excuses. You cannot so easily say that he's being untruthful, given the disjointed allegiance of the enemies attacking us. Out displayed and played with the pamphlet in her hand. They are frustrated by but unable to establish anything concrete. For people without a clear allegiance to attack a member of the E.G.O family, it looks like everyone in the backstreets has been getting pretty plucky while I was away. Back then, I couldn't even catch a glimpse of their faces. They'd all be on their hands and knees whenever I walked past. What a wonderful change. I shoved a wonderful change up your ass. You bloody yawn. How much longer till we get there? My cousin is near. Calm your worries. Our guide is slightly calmer now than he did at the beginning of this journey. Did you really get numbed by all the violence that fast, or... Speaking of which, what's a kisan? It is a term commonly used to refer to taverns, inns, or equivalent places of lodging in on this region. Lodging, huh? Like a hotel? It's gonna be a pretty fancy then, huh? Do they serve like complimentary snacks and drinks like the warp train? Not sure about that, but it seems like Kazans also serve alcohol and food alongside their lodging services. Maybe we can get the meal in there. And hopefully we won't be attacked there like this. Residential non-accreditation taboo. Any major acts of violence inside the residential building is within this particular area and flow of hunger a taboo. A taboo? We may arrest these within then. As her false eyebrows slightly twitched, as though she had just heard the most ridiculous thing, but I guess I'll ask her about it later. Dear man. If it was some kind of family E.G.O or family head selection contest, why couldn't they save all this fighting until then? Because it would be too late. Late how? Every hero candidate must have brought incredibly precious treasures with them. It would be nice if they believed that their own treasure is the most precious of them all, but everyone's going to try to take each other's just to be sure. I see. Just in case someone else brought something even better than their own. And might as well kill them too, for the sake of convenience. Is that how the folks in your family think? What kind of line of thinking is that? But other families didn't seem too different from mine. Yeah, I'm just crazy. Deepest apologies for intruding upon this most enthralling conversation. However, we may be inviting even further trouble by dallying here. Then that the guide pulled out the watch to check the time. It would be nighttime soon. He is so suspicious as almost everyone said.
저희를 헤아릴 수
Look at that. This weapon is just insane.
전념하시오. 한화 휴재. 개인의 권리 잊지 마시오. 한화 휴재. 한화 휴재.
주께서 찾아오시는
한화 휴재. 개인의 한화 휴재. 한화 휴재. 개인의 꼴물 잊지 마시오. 전자.
Slash of the God. His Slash of the God is stronger than. Wow. Using both Honglu's weapon for real. Damn it. I wonder why it's wrong. Yes, I know. He's a dad, but still. Gain 2 shield for every type of negative effect on self. As soon as this shield, inflict 2 paralysis on target next turn. Gonna hold it off on that skill.
목을 콱 물어버리자고. 뛰어난 병사라도 적재적소에 쓰지 않으면 무의무능한 법. 우선 전화부터 살피지.
개인의
You have to say his effect is kinda lame. You have to say we have the swirly, we have the aura, and then we have the smoke. But look at that, the Lord, adept. Hehe. Neutral! Yeah! I wonder why neutral? Let's see if you actually win. Eris. Let's see if he's gonna win.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
Loss. Second loss. Another loss.
착고장이다. 예상한 것보다 움직임이
But if he gets low enough, then he's gonna bye.
토끼를 보라. 저항의 충들을 도려내라. 묘야.
Combo.
튀우지도 없겠구나.
퉁퉁투성네. 큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
He's attacking Anapus. But he's the next one who gets the second skill, so let's see about that, huh?
시간 끌 것 없이
Ooh.
모조리 지워.
Ooh, he's dashes.
튀우지도 없겠구나. 고작 이 정도 탐내야 하겠다.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나
Yep.
좋은 움직임이로구나.
Struggling. He's not doing well with what he has to deal with. Have fun. Let's see how far he even gets.
일기당천.
이제 펼치시기.
목을 떨고 주마.
Ooh, a draw! Another draw! A win! Another win! You won! Let's go! That's good. Charge up! Fun.
판도는 유리하나 도만하면 뒤집어지는 거.
Got another aura!
경계.
Now a more shieldy one.
시간 끌 것 없이 이제 모조리 지워버리죠.
넌 푸른 튀울 수도 없겠구나.
Of course, I have no idea how it actually works, since I never really read through everything of this kid. I don't know. He can turn into a horse. I don't know how, but I know he can. Someday, obviously. Now, here we are. Is this the place? After running through alleyway after turning corner after corner, we finally came across the side of several small buildings lightly built next to one another. At the center of them was a building lit with red lamps, adorned with a doorbell, with complicated-looking letters scribbled over it. This is shoddier than I expected. Hey, isn't this a place a bit too trashy to house your precious young master? This is not our building, please. Look this way to say why our honored guests will be staying for the night. I knew it. They had so much from the Honglua, but all the splendor, all the We followed the Shinto's thing and arrived at a small warehouse of sorts. Its exterior painted in black. That looks smaller than even Mephistopheles. Can we all even fit in there? Hey. This place looks trashy as heck, even for us. Let alone your young master. This is the nearest Kazan we could afford to stay in. At least among the ones that I manage. Yet its location in the backstreets heavily limits the level of decency it can afford. My deepest and sincere apologies, young master. Don't worry, we can always sleep in decent places. It looks just fine for an overnight stay for me. Are you nuts? Can the thing even fit all of us in there? Much as I wish to guide the honored guests to the family mansion in the central zone. However, at the time, the sweeping wave. Doesn't that start at 3:15 in the morning? I feel like we've plenty of time to get there. Exactly. Don't we have more than enough time to get to the family mansion? According to the E.G.O traffic guide, the central area is only like an hour away from here. Has the honored guest traveled to District 8 before? Well, no, this is the first time here, but then one must ask how the honored guest could claim to have the full understanding of a place merely by flipping through a book, when she hasn't come to contend with it in person. Innumerable, unpredictable changes await in the teeming jungle of buildings. The ever-shifting structures, the constantly changing paths, ambushes from foolish yet vicious syndicates, or even officers of the backstreets. We are beset by danger from all sides. Such bold, flippant approach to predicting the phenomena of this place is to court death. Even a toddler must know that. One face to disguise this utter sorrow at the inadequacy of her wisdom. Is it just me, or are we all thinking back to Ishmael back at the Red Lake? Sip it, Dante. But if the guidebook lists a path, and does it not Does it not imply that it's technically possible to reach there in time? Or just suddenly took us a step forward. In her hand there was the E.G.O traveler pamphlet that Ishmael was talking about. I felt that if our executive manager would lead us in your direction, directionally challenge the steed. Directionally challenge steed, they would be able to lead us to the destination before night falls. This does not appear to have been discussed beforehand. Very well, allow me to speak freely without threats. My responsibility is to bring the honored guests to the central zone and to ensure the young master's safety. It is indeed technically possible to reach the family mansion before the night in the back streets commences. Technically. Why do I have heard night in the back streets before? I wonder. Yet not even one iota of danger for the young master shall be permitted. The mission that has been so graciously bestowed upon this humble servant is not to guide the young master with haste, but to guide him with utmost safety. Aha! It is said that those engaging in strategies and plans must remain wary of losing sight of their purpose, to stubbornly forge on toward the family mansion in E.G.O of the necessary intel to see when these mobs of assailants will end is to wrongly prioritize the journey over the destination. You. Wonderful, truly impressive. You've been the qualities of someone I would trust with my life when devising a stratagem. This is the most fitting attitude for those who genuinely wish the best for those they serve. Really, you're just gonna start going along with them all of a sudden? I have misunderstood your intention, truly. You sparked my eerie by comparing some of your choice words with my very own. Yet now my eyes have been opened with the honest loyalty that lies within your heart. This humble servant did not imagine even in his wildest dreams that there would be someone who understands the fathoms of his loyalty. It seems that the young master suddenly gained an eye for allies and fellowships. This is a cause for such relief in my heart. Listen to him. This one knows how to jest. They are basically best buds now, huh? I may have lost my cool for a moment there. Anyway, this man speaks true. It is highly likely that we would be exposed to attacks of similar nature were we to continue moving at this time. She's just fully on his side now, isn't she? That's when I realized that she was looking in my direction. The exaggerated smile that all but completely faded from her face, replaced with an odd but dead serious expression. When her gaze locked, she nodded. She must be completely turned around by that guy. Is this her way of saying so long? I'm gonna quit and go work with this guy now? Thanks for everything. And as for this hotel, it is still much better than sleeping in outdoor tent barracks. We should be able to relieve ourselves in some fatigue here before moving on. Did you not earlier insist on continuing our search for better accommodation with the greatest vehemence, Miss Otis? Yeah, whatever. We get your point. Let's go inside. Yeah, my humble self can only behold your generous acceptance of this insufficient lodging with the deepest gratitude. After all that serious talk, The man seemed oddly relieved to hear our decision as he brought his fist and palm together. Architecture of today mustn't be judged with such haste merely by an observation of the exterior. The interior may hold or to be surprised of. Worry not. With the audience surrounded, wouldn't it be nice? We made our way into the building. Oh, this actually ain't so bad. It's lit in here. This building presents a rather classical aesthetic. The landscape paintings lining the walls give off a rather sophisticated mood. And it's much more spacious inside than it looks from the outside. Did they use some kind of space expansion technology in here too? It seems that the building only appeared small due to the density of structures in proximity. Well, door is now open. Should my presence be required, I shall be in the small shed next to this building. Please do converse freely. The man smiled awkwardly and quietly excused himself as his head around the center began to grow. Meanwhile, Hongru stood a far distance from the guide, quietly watching his face as he left. His expression was enigmatic, as if he were gazing upon the clouds, flowers over the wind. Man, I'm getting hungry. After this room, I'm definitely gonna get something to eat. Yet there was no light in those eyes. How hungry. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse! How hungry, my lord! I'm so hungry I could eat a horse thing. Yet there was no light in those eyes. It was as if they beheld a storm cloud, a desolate field of withered flowers, and the howling, destructive gale. Do you suspect something, Honglu? So I decided to ask. Not yet, I don't think. Huh? Not yet? So, big brother, something fed off to you too, huh? That's when we caught a familiar voice. Wow, teacher, it's you. That's so soon too. Yeah, I told you I had a feeling we'd be seeing each other again very soon. Have you been well, young master? I'm so glad to see that you're doing well, Mr. Wei. Oh, wait. Mr. Wei. Oh. Way. Don't tell me you're staying here too, Chichun. I normally wouldn't ever set foot in a place like this, but I ran into some kind of large-scale construction on my way back to the family mansion. Had to come in through the back streets. So we weren't the only ones troubled by the random construction site. Hail to thee! The confident look of Chichun's face was immediately replaced with that of alarm. Did she lose her memories again? Is she with you? No, Don Quixote is the same as always. But she looks like such an airhead. Young Chichun? Well, will Star accompany me to the lounge about a moment so that we may share a moment of catching up? Oh yeah, actually, let's do that. Hold on. Chichun seemed to hesitate for a moment, staring at Don Quixote, after hearing that her memories were intact, before walking right up to her. I like that idea, shall we? Why don't you go and find a room for me to stay in, while I talk some things out with her? Well, you wanted to do some catching up, right? This managing Squire! Loss of critical personnel may be a cause of this disciplinary action, Dante. I don't think there's anything wrong with making friends, so. Unless that she really likes Don Quixote. If she's comfortable enough to tease her like that. It's not Don Quixote she likes. She obviously just wants Don Quixote's power she saw back then. My lady, this is hardly the appropriate place for. Fine. I'll try again later. Go get some sleep. I'm heading into. Kitchen sign with a bit of disappointment before heading into the lobby. Wait. Well, let's all head inside now. So I and the rest of the sinners followed her into the lodging. I need to look up how to pronounce that.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군.
Support, by the way.
길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍우는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍루가 무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
Oh, lodging, okay. It's with the G, okay. Didn't know which exactly word was pronounced. D or G in lodging. Oh no. E. I need something to eat. Wait here for a moment. I'm gonna grab a horse. Yisang! Where are you? And that's when there were only 12 sinners left. I got new food. Suspicious. By suspicious activity. But yeah, I got food. I'm making it through Nocturnal Sweeping with this one. Go lock the text. It's awesome. I'm currently at the eating break, where Gabe is currently at the bathroom break. And of course I'm eating something with chocolate. So how's been everyone's day been so far? Day is awesome! My day has been full of excitement since I knew I was able to get both the new Hazel packs, and then later on ZZZ. We're gonna hop it for a bit. Have anyone actually even tried like fast food, a house meat? And I know some parts do. Most have never. Okay. Let's continue. With suspicious. I may not have eaten everything yet, but for now I'm doing good. Is this the Halloween part where everything is horror? I can't wait for the stream to cover the entire interval because you can't stop yourself from going further. Don't say that! It might actually be true. I don't plan going through everything. I would better know when to stop. Depending on the information, if there's a dungeon or not. But since I don't have the information, I just have to assume that there is one. Everyone was busy looking around and commenting on various things in our lodging. But Sinclair appeared to be the most anxious of them all. I tell you if there's a dungeon or not. Do as you wish. It's no dungeon, okay. And the stream is not gonna be that much longer. Sinclair? So something in here stands out, like imagine an ideal picture. Did you call? Did you call? Well, I missed that joke, you say. That's not what I was saying. I'm not. Anyway, am I the only who feels like something stands out, like a soft hum from the whole picture? Oh yeah, glad you brought it up. I didn't say anything because I thought it was just me. But yeah. So what's so off about this place? Isn't it obvious? Where did all the complimentary snacks go? What's that weird? That's weird. What's that weird mystery tab in the center of this room? In Korean, yeast and it apparently sound similar, and that's supposed to be the joke. Ah. I thought it was some. Yeah. I thought it was something like that, or like his name would be like that. So yeah. It is kind of weird though. What's the table doing here? Doing there? Saturated colors are quite the pleasant sight to behold. So is that any better in what the hell is that hideous table? The kerfuffle sparkled with a particular unsightly piece of indoor furniture calmed somewhat once everyone made it inside the building. Of course, no one is able to discern the real purpose of that table yet. Every step on the floor leaves black residue on the shoes. Not only the floor, but the wall leaves an unidentified black substance in one's fingers. Not to mention the walls rippled in an odd fashion. What could possibly be the construction of this structure? Well, my guess is that maintenance has been slacking. Maybe. But why is everything so neatly organized? If that's the case. I've been to enough seedy establishments to tell what a place has got a while before I tidy up. At least it appears that each room is furnished with a bed. This is far from optimal, Executive Manager. We may be able to rest here. I guess they really didn't have the time to clean up. The E.G.O, the last person to walk in after having taken her time to examine the area outside the lobby, stepped blankly around the room with an aghast expression. I'm not even sure what to say about to this ridiculous negligence. Then found her room after leaving us a scathing remark. It ain't the first time we were sauntering right into some shady business in it. Let's just cross that bridge, then we come to it, yeah? I guess. Anyone could tell that there was something definitely wrong about that guy. Some sinners, including Heathcliff, had already slumped to the floor, vociferously expressing their desire to rest with a collective sigh of exhaustion. Well, it is pretty weird, but at least we have a roof over our heads. In that case, Dante, perhaps this may be a good time to announce today's close of business. I've never made this announcement outside the bus before. Oh, right. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Understood. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you all will be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. As soon as she finished, the sinners each began to relax on their own way. Some stumbling into the room, so while others lingered to speculate over the bizarre table at the center of the room. Hi Raiders! Hi gay! I was totally not part in the raid technically because I was lurking in there. But hi gay! Just around the time I was actually faking on when you finally show up. How was the story? Avoid spoilers and yeah. If you stick around for a bit longer, you will be able to see me pull for Seed and the Bamboo, having a guaranteed S-ring on both. Save for Otis, that is. Got something to say, Otis? Yes, Executive Manager. It's about our guide, Jingtao. Oh, your new best friend from earlier. Seems like you guys were getting along pretty well. Got the bamboo too. Let's go. I haven't put yet, since I was technically waiting for you to raid in. Since maybe you wanna watch. So yeah. Once I'm done with this, then I'm gonna switch up to ZZZ. What? That's is simply untrue. I did not see the signal I gave you earlier. What signal? Oh, you mean when you nodded slightly in my direction? Indeed, that individual has an information advantage over us when it comes to this locale. Regardless of how sound the accusations we came up with were, he would have been able to explain them away using his familiarity with the region. I thought as a party with an informational disadvantage, it would be wise to feign a camaraderie and friendship with that individual and go along with that plan while trying to dig out as much intel as possible. Stopped after the second part of the story there. I think that's about the halfway point. Yeah, that seems... well, I would have done the same. I seriously thought that suspicious guy totally won over you. Executive manager, I've been in this business for many years. How could you even imagine that I would be fooled by an amateur spy who's so overly it's nothing. This disappointment was palpable. But she stopped herself as though she remembered that there were more important matters at hand. But it is uncertain as to how long that individual will be accompanying us. It will be reasonable to speculate that he approached the LCCB with the explicit purpose of eliminating Honglu and Honglu. Jia Bao Yu. I present the fact that it was a pilot, that unexperienced greenhorn, who somehow conveniently came across this connection as another evidence supporting this suspicion. That's also true. Paus lost this information to share. Paus joined the conversation after listening to us discuss for some time. A reviewer of every non-taboo has failed to identify one he called the residential non-aggression taboo. That the universal prohibits acts of violence within residential areas. And that also has to be... It is too early to come to conclusion regarding that matter. It appears that this area, Hongguan, has taboos that change depending on your location within its territory. However, considering every other circumstantial evidence, we can come to the conclusion that he was most likely lying to us. Your assessment cannot be denied. In that case, we must already be deep within the enemy's machinations. The constant stream of random assailments with Acelia was also almost likely also a part of their plan. It may very well be that the spinning itself is also a trap. Yet we lack the intelligence about this particular backstreet to be certain. However, we do have one minor advantage. It seems that they have severely underestimated our capabilities. Given the low caliber of the assailants, they decided to send after us. One thing we can capitalize on is that mutual lack of intel. Keep our guard up, remain alert, and we should be able to navigate our way out of this trap, executive manager. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding, honestly. I didn't know who or what to trust. Then I would appreciate it if you could trust me fully next time. I would just bowed politely and returned to her room. Faust and I chatted a little more about Qingtao and his plans, but our discussion ended without bearing much fruit. And yep, we are at the halfway point with the EX clears, and tomorrow we're gonna probably finish everything up there with the intervallo. And I pretty much need to get used to all the more lesser time of stream. This is like mostly a test on how far I could like possibly get with an intervallo. Maybe when I have actually the time limitations with my personal work, probably progression of an intervallo on the lunacy goals. That would be my guess. With such a cliffhanger! There's a Heisho pack! Ah! Ah, this is even a cliffhanger for me! My guess is,
야밤의 달빛과 함께
what's her name? What's her name? Sinners. Shido. Maybe. I don't know. Could be any other, to be fair.
야밤의 달빛과
Maybe.
함께 사라지는 것이 저의 필요해요. 그러나 부름이 필요하시다면 달이
And yeah, they could introduce them
죽음께 서겠습니다.
now and then later. Majora. But yeah, let's switch out to ZZZ and do our polling. Don't worry about the caffeine after stream. I'm gonna go back to it. And yeah. Yeah, Windows. Okay, but you excited for the polling? If you're still there, that is. But yeah, here we go. Running config data, awesome. You don't know the escape route? Don't panic! The answer's here. Thank goodness! Yeah. Welcome to my ZZZ account! For my main focus.
Misfortune and disaster.
Being
waiting.
Number 0, Anby. I am the Eye of Obel.
the Orbis Squad. I love the Orbis Squad.
Standing by.
What brings you here this time? Ready and waiting.
Our variant being Soldier 11. My first 50-50 loss and my early one.
Awaiting further instructions.
The one I got Cinema 3 because I selected because I wanted the background.
Awaiting further instructions.
I notice. Announcement, yeah. On issues. Yeah. Not that far when it comes to anything, but the newest member is finally able to be pulled for. Will I get there? Will I not? And the Bamboo is pretty much guaranteed. So I wanna know, Gabe, are you still there? And questions to both. Which ones should we start? Bamboo channel or exclusive channel? We start with Bamboo or exclusive channel? With standards? No. Let's start with just Mercury. And give Gabe some time, unintended, to come back if it decides and is still awake. Who knows? Dun, 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 dun. Oh man. Yeah. Only one. Wonder what's gonna be. Mercury! Look at them. Okay. Let's see. Let's just select. Hmm. Continue. I need some place to use my. Oh. I can do the single person, and then I can put all my hope into the streamer luck that I may be get back finally. I can only hope. As I really need it. And I perfect amount 60. Okay, let's not delay everything. Let's go in. I'm nervous. I will. Early! Please! Save me trouble. Please save me a lot of trouble, please. Oh, save me a lot of trouble, please, game. With the 50-50. Yes!
Specialist.
Let's go! Ah. Never mind. Open main continues. Technically speaking, I need both W edges for both of them. And I have predicted. I could go with a 50-50, but I'm really not sure if I should go.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
But,
Seed at your service.
much relief. I don't have a lot to get. For now. So much relief. Like the last couple of 50-50s, I kept on losing. Oh, it's really nice to finally win this game. But the one I'm most interested in is later version. Oh, it's gonna be so difficult. I am willing to spend my credit card. So I like the Opus Code. I'm going to support them fully. Even if I don't like the feed focus of Seed. It's the Oversquad. I'm supporting Oversquad.
You know, I really like your scent.
I am the Eye of
Yahoo! Seed at your service.
West. Yes, bakery! Bakery! One slot open for Orphe. One I'm really excited about. It's actually gonna be a buff for my not so well doing Social 11 team. But I have like the top 2 teams. I have 2 meta teams. The highest tier possible. Yet I'm using my favorite is the lowest. Pretty much. My plan for Office, Social 11 and Trigger. Well, I have Lighter, so I want more Lighters and see. He's a stunner and buffs, and he is fun to use. Also, this is my exploration team. The focus is terrible, but it's fun. It's my three favorite characters to play with, and my favorite Bengu. Rocket Boo. I still don't know about the W engine. Both. It's a really difficult choice.
What brings you here this time?
Yahoo! Seed at your service.
I haven't even read what were the new ones, the new discs. Moonlight Lullaby and Dawn's Blossom. Magic Region. Near Crip is a support character and uses an EX special attack ultimate. The damage dealt by all squad members increases by 6 and 15. This repeat triggers reset the duration. And mostly is mostly 2 PS. This one increases basic attack damage 200% when equipped by an attack character using it. When equipped by an attack character using EX or ultimate with further increase. This repeat is. Is this better than what I have for Social 11? What hitting burning enemy, crit rate, massive crit rate boost. Okay, I don't think I need that much. I really don't think I need that much crit. Like, again, it's 882 and I already have 62. I think that's a bit enough. So I guess it's better. Just have to grind. Stops with a fun crit damage. And fire damage was gonna be difficult to top. You can never have too much crit stat. While when you play Miyabi, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see how much pre-farming actually ended up here. Let's see the money drain. Ah. Okay, this one first. Faster and less this one. How much do I have left? Yeah, not that many. I have a lot of these. Not gonna be enough. Okay. Let's keep it at that for now. I think that's pretty solid. Of course, since I want to main since I main Over Squad, I'm gonna crown all of the all of the moves. It's mostly, and I didn't know that I needed to get this one, so yeah, just didn't know. So yeah, that's the next one we're gonna grind for. Is get the cost skill enhancement done, and figuring out what I should do. Should put in here. Let's see. What does the tier list guide and whatnot say? Build. Okay, the Brimstone is quite solid for a seed. So this was fine. It's quite terrible. I think this is the signature one, but yeah, the new one. I wanna. Oh. What's this do I need? Yeah, crit damage. End ratio over attack and electro damage? Then attack. Let's see. What are other recommended ones? Woodpecker Electro with crit rate. Branch and Blade with crit Damn it. See, it is an attacker. Everyone in Opus Squad except for Trigger is in DPS. Huh? Fundamental with the electric damage bonus. Then lastly we have Imagine his soul that becomes playable and she is the only other non-attack in Nova Squad. Maybe support, like having a support character in Nova Squad that is more like a commander. You could do it. Attack and through voice for attack. If it crits an electric. Definitely depends more on which one. This one is locked by. Let's filter some more. Okay, should I remove more from Harumasa? Yeah, I'm using. I'm so sad. Hamas is an awesome person. Yeah. Yeah, this attack. Yeah, a lot better. Let's see. I even had anything. Anything not worthy. This one is really good. Let's see with this one. Yeah. Aramasa. Get it back. Get it this back. Duh. Yeah, this one is the only one not so nice. But also that's especially towards Gabe. There's a character I despise a lot. I despise a lot, but he still had to pull on them somewhat because I had to. Okay, should level them up, except for maybe this one not. Yeah. Awesome, 2 of 10. Yeah, I don't have pen fish. Well, I can probe, draft.
See at your service.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
I can probably make one physics star. But yeah, Gabe, again. There's one character I despise, but yet had to pull on.
Morning air is like a soothing melody, truly unforgettable.
There's another one. Maybe. Yeah, I know. Okay.
I'll be waiting for your next visit.
What brings you here this time?
Yahoo! See, at your service.
Free on defense! Not for now. Terrible. Keep on grinding for everything else but the drive discs. I'll never get to actually get maxed out drive discs. Right, the attack is over the top. HP is over the top. Defense is over the top. Crit damage is over the top. Crit rate is terrible. Great! So yeah, everything besides good. Crit rate is good. Shit. I just don't have those two signatures, so it's difficult.
I've got your back.
It's just an office is much more important to get a guarantee. Squidgy. I was there.
Oh, you're up early.
And now it's time!
Bang Boo combo?
Mercury! I have no idea how many of the materials I have to grade up. Generally don't know. Apparently I have enough. Which is a surprise for myself. And
I got plenty of new ideas. Let's try them out on you.
something I'm gonna do is exchange materials. The Marcel modified part for the Bengura I've been waiting for since such a level. Two-star. Alpha Makery.
Please, come again.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
Das ist die Exoports gerade. Maybe we get early. Got some refund. Yeah. I don't know about these two, so they can get one, but Orphe, and I think Orphe in the team where she would be in, it's more important to have her W engine, since such 11 is not the best DPS. Let's see if we get something from the standard. Oh! Okay. Why is it always Nekomata? Why? It's always Nekomata that shows up. Why? My last 50-50 loss was because of Nekomata.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
I'll help you win. The lunch is on you.
I just to get a free such a level for this wallpaper. Now I got this from Nekomata normally. Why? For this wallpaper, I even skipped the art on Rena's one, which will be actually really useful. increases the duration of the buff, which is pretty liminal. The game is really teasing me.
See at your service.
But I'm happy. I got to see it. Maybe would have fun started if I got another Nekomata 50-50 loss. Still much potential. They should have put instead of Evelyn Zandy. But yeah, for everyone's knowledge, the character that I despised the most, but still had to pull on, is not for a surprise, Evelyn.
Preparing to move out.
I despise her. She took the place of my favorite character, who wasn't even good to begin with, but still. Oh, so that's who you meant. And I still had to pull on Evelyn, to be more precise, on her W engine for such a level. Since the subset crit rate and the casual crit damage increase is insane. That's what the stats are insane. So yeah, I put on the W engine for the character I despised the most, since it was the biggest buff for my favorite character.
Ready and waiting.
No matter what, I will never pull for Evelyn. No matter, even if I lose a bet or truth or dare to do a single pull or something, I'm not doing a single pull on Evelyn Banner. Yeah. Welcome to the Obo Squad. I am collecting.
I've got your number 0. Awaiting further
You know, I really like your scent.
This line is so weird. See, this channel is so weird. I need to play her story. So I think that's about wraps up everything. I'm happy that my luck is at least somewhat back in ZZZ. After so much that happened that last few pulls. Who to raid? Oh my god, why is almost everyone that I found on is playing Hollow Knight 6 on? I don't know why. I already saw who to raid. No matter what anyone says, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna raid someone that I hold dear to me since a really long time, and they're back. It's a few days. And they're extra streaming, so it's awesome. Fun fact: if Code would have been live, I would have not raided Code. So it was never a bit to HD. Wait, her instead. But yeah, red message is neon raid. If you want, you can use your channel points to have my emotes to go with the red message if you so desire. But if you want to save your channel points for any future redeems, where there may be a soon-to-be sound alert back, you're free to use your own emotes instead. But with everything said, our raid target is going to be one I have followed for a really long time. Where I actually need to copy the name because it's quite long. I don't even know if raid is enabled, I hope so. But our raid target is going to be Amelie Master Computer. Yeah, I can only say the typical. She is awesome. She's an awesome individual. a evil computer mastermind who's gonna take over the world. So, yeah, rest of them. And until next time, which is tomorrow, with the finishing of Nocturnal Sweeping in Limbus Company. See you next time. Bye bye.